My name is John, and my younger brother recently showed interest in juicing, so I am making this quick video for him and his wife to show him the differences between the two juicers that I have. This is what I call my Pro model, which isn't Pro at all, but it's got a very large hopper, it's got a very large container for catching, and it's got a juice separator, which will help to remove any pulp that comes through, so that you have a cleaner juice that doesn't have pulp in it. And this is my $30 Walmart model. It has a small hopper, and the cup that comes with it's maybe about that tall and about that wide, and you don't really get a lot of juice out of fruit, so if you're making small amounts of juice, you're good to go. But I moved up to this one partially because I got a really good deal on it. It's a used model, but I knew I wanted to move up. I was just kind of dragging my feet, and if I had known how convenient this one was after using this one, I would have bought this one a long time ago. Like I said, the big difference is the hopper. So I'm able to drop an entire orange, this is an organic orange, into the hopper and have no problem getting it in. With this one, I've got to do something to chop it up and make it small enough to go in. So here's what I got that I'm going to juice. I've got an organic orange, I've got an organic apple that my daughter started, and I'm going to finish, and this is what your organic apple looks like. Regular, it's just an apple. But for the most part, this one will fit entirely into the hopper. This one is a little bit wider at the top, so I got to cut it in half, no big deal. This is a piece of ginger, and it is not organic, so I have taken all the skin off of it. I like the taste of ginger. This is a lime. I do not like the skin on my lime simply because it was inorganic. It wasn't organic. The lime, of course, is organic. The stuff that they sprayed on it was not. The reason I use organic is simply pesticides. Anything else that somebody has told you about organic versus not organic, I don't care. Is this more nutritious? Is this orange more nutritious than a one that's been grown with chemical fertilizers? I don't know. I don't care. All I'm worried about is what's on the outside of it. The petroleum-based pesticides. This is a pear, organic also, so I'm not worried about the skin. All I've done is rinse it, and this is a pear that my daughter started, and I encourage her to eat as much fruit as she can, so I juice what's left of that, or I finish it up in the morning. It's really no big deal. This is organic carrots that are already chopped up into the baby size, and I bought a bag of them. These are carrots that are not chopped up into the baby size. These are also organic, so all I've done to prep them is take the two tips off. This is a cucumber that is not organic. All I've done is take the skin off, and again, all I'm worried about is the pesticide residue that's on the outside of it. This is a pineapple that I chopped up for my wife to eat, and she's just nibbling on it, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. And of course, that is a full-size pineapple. Now, with a pineapple, if it's organic or not organic, I'm still going to be taking the skin off of it. I'm still going to be taking the top off of it. I'm still going to be taking the bottom off of it. If I'm putting it into my juicer, I'm probably just going to have to cut it into, let's say, 6 pieces tops. And I don't even think I have to do that many. I could probably quarter it. And with this one, I'm going to have to do a whole lot more slicing. I'm going to have to get it into pieces this size so that it fits into the little hopper. So this apple, I'm going to have to cut in half to get into mine because it's got the wide mouth, but I probably have to cut it into 8 pieces to get it through this little hopper. This orange, I would have to prep in some way. Right now I don't have to. I can just drop the whole thing in, but if I'm using this one, I have to cut it 6, 8 pieces to get it down in there, and it's not really a big time. It's just slices of a knife, but I'm very lazy and I'm very averse to knives. I've cut myself too many times, and yeah, you get better at it, and that's when you cut yourself more because you're not paying attention. So take the skin off the lime, and it breaks into little pieces. It's citrus, so I can put the whole thing in there, or I can break it in half and put it in there. The pear, I would have to prep it and put it into there, but with this size, I don't have to prep it at all. Baby carrots, no prepping whatsoever. They'll go in, or they'll go in. Now, the reason I like these big carrots is I can get a 25-pound bag of organic carrots for $15. These are $2 a pound. Now, the prices are going to fluctuate depending on where you're going, but let's just say this is $2 a pound, and this is $15 for 25 pounds. I leave the skin on. It makes your juice a little bit more bitter, but I'm using so many other things that it really doesn't matter to me, and I'm using enough sweet that's going to cut the bitter, and there's going to be more vitamins and nutrients in the skin. Cucumber, take the skin off, pop the 2 ends off. Now, to get it into this one, I'm going to be able to put the whole thing in. To do this one, I'm probably going to have to cut it into quarters. So I'm just trying to cut my prep time by using this one. I'm able to make more juice because it's got a bigger hopper, but you can always add a bigger hopper to this. You could use a big measuring cup, a 4-cup measuring cup or whatnot. The juice strainer on this one really isn't that big of a great deal, because with this one you can just pour your juice through any strainer. Plastic strainer, metal mesh strainer, baby diaper. I'm using a baby diaper for my easy cleanup. So you can pour it through anything to get the pulp out, as long as the juice will go through. And my celery, all I've done to prep it is take the 2 ends off, and like I said earlier, it will fit in both of them with no problem. So that's your big differences. This sucker, when you fire them up, is loud. I mean, when it gets going and you drop something down into it, you're really not going to be able to have anybody in the house sleeping. And that is how much juice you get out of 1 carrot. So you're not going to be getting a whole lot of juice out of anything. You're throwing away all the pulp, which is no big deal. I've got a compost bin, so all my pulp goes into my compost bin. So I'm not too worried about that. If you live in an apartment and you think you can't have a compost bin, you need to look up bokashi composting. And if you have a house, I believe that you should have a compost bin. Okay, now that cucumber creates a lot of juice. Your cucumber creates a lot of juice. Your pineapple creates a lot of juice. Your orange creates a middle amount of juice. Your apples create a lot of juice. Pears, I haven't run those particular ones through, so I don't know what they're going to do. Ginger's not going to give off much juice. The lime's going to give off a middle amount of juice, and these guys give off a lot of juice. And I think celery juice tastes fantastic. It's kind of salty. So you know, I'm not going to bore you with running everything through there, but that's basically juicing. And the difference between this one and this one is the amount of prep time, because this one has a smaller mouth, this one has a bigger mouth. As far as cleanup goes, my youngest brother taught me this. If you take one of these plastic bags that you get at the grocery store and put it down in your hopper, and this would be the hopper on this one, just fill it up. It makes it so that when you're done, you take the top off, you pull the bag out, you throw it away. This part's already clean, so all you got left to clean is this, the centrifuge, your plunger, and your juice catcher. As long as you do these things immediately when you're done, very easy to clean up. So what I do is I take a brush to clean the mesh of the centrifuge, take it out, run it under water, rinse everything else off, toss it in the dishwasher, and your cleanup time is 3 to 5 minutes. There's nothing to it. Now if you leave it, like I have done in the past, your cleanup time could be 20 minutes, because this stuff, when it dries, is hard to get off. Plus it also ferments very quickly. So you end up with a kind of stinky, sour smell real fast. But 8 minutes, that's the difference between the Breville juicer and the $30 model that I bought at Walmart.